Hey, hi, hello, what's up my friends? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing some first impressions of some new to me products. I'm going to be trying out the Danessa Myricks Balm Powder or the Yummy Skin, and in the Makeup by Mario Transforming Skin Enhancer. I'm going to be doing first impressions of these as well as getting ready with you all and chit-chatting. There will be a full video later with a full review of each of these products, but I thought that we could go ahead and do our first impressions together. So if that sounds fun to you, be sure to stay tuned. If you are new here, welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave and hit the thumbs up button as well if you like this content at any time while watching. Anyways, let's jump into it. Let's go. Okay, so I went ahead and filled in the brows and primed my eyes just to save us a little bit of time on that step. I am going to be using a new to me palette today as well. It is the KVD Edge of Reality eyeshadow palette. I bought this forever ago from Ulta when it was on sale, and I still haven't used it yet. And I recently unwrapped it and swatched it, and it swatched really beautifully. So I want to go ahead and give it a go. I'm gonna go ahead and start, I think, with this really cool toned like beige shade. I'm interested to see how it goes on the eyes. Oh, beautiful. Because the formula almost felt like cream to powdery when I swatched it. It was so interesting. I was like, what is happening? So I wasn't really sure how it would apply on my eye. This is one of the palettes so I recently have swatched pretty much all my palettes. I went through my whole eyeshadow palette collection and I did a declutter. Part 1 is already up. If you haven't caught it yet, I will link it below for you. But this is one of the ones that I swatched and I was like, oh wow, like this is really interesting. Like that one on beautifully, easily, no issues or anything like that. I am gonna go ahead and start, okay, I actually think I wanna go in with this gray because I think I'm gonna use this purple shade all over the lid and then maybe that on the outer portion. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this next. But yeah, that was as I dip into the brown. Megan. But yeah, so I wanted to really just try this out and get my thoughts on it, which there will be a handful of palettes you see that are kind of ones that I want to try and test out before my next eyeshadow palette declutter at the end of the year. Man, this is layering really nice. A nice slow build. I like that. But yeah, I'm really just so excited to film this video. These kind of videos are literally my favorite because if you have a YouTube channel, then you know how much work goes into pretty much every single video. Not only do you have to have a concept, but you have to plan out that concept, sometimes most of the time doing research for that content, you script it out, all of these things, and you put in a lot of work before you even turn on the camera. And then, you got to edit and upload and do all that. So it's a lot of time, it's a lot of work, and what I love about the type of video that I am filming today is it requires the least amount of work. Like, I can just talk about whatever the fuck I want and put makeup on, which is great. So that's why they're my favorite. I don't have to do as much, planning and scripting and all of that. So these really are just almost like a break to just sit down and play with makeup and chat. So that's why I love doing these at least weekly. Now I'm going to go into this shade really here, which looks super gorge. And I'm going to put that on the outer corner. We'll see how that goes. I'm not really sure what to expect. I'm taking the brush that I normally use and we'll see how that goes. Oh yeah, I don't think that's going to work. No. Okay, so these shimmers are not going to be shimmers that want to like blend out. Like, okay, so I'm gonna reach into problem solving time. I'm gonna reach into another palette. I'm gonna grab my Natasha Denona Biba, and I'm gonna use a shade Spot here, and I'm gonna use that on the outer, and then I'm still gonna go with that purple, but I think that the shimmers in the KVD palette might just be those kinds of shimmers that apply best with a finger, and that's fine. Trial and error. I didn't know. We're figuring it out together, so yeah. Okay, I think that looks, I don't know. It might not be perfect just because I went in that other one first, and I don't feel like restarting the look. It's not that serious today. I'm not going anywhere, so I'm not gonna restart the look for that. Okay, I think we're good. That definitely does kind of limit the palette in terms of like depth, because well, no, that's a powdered one. But essentially, like, these are all the mattes, and like these are all the shimmers. So you're really kind of limited in the depth that you can get from this, I will say now. I think I'm gonna go ahead and go in with a little bit of glitter glue just to be safe. I prefer to do this. It just helps the shadows pack a little bit more punch. I'm gonna try and pick it up with like a flat paddle brush. And if that's not working, I am gonna go in with my finger. Just judging by what's kind of been going on, I could see it not working. So, but just as a reminder, I'm gonna go into this really pretty purple. I'm really excited. It looks stinking gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh yeah, that is stunning. And it is picking up on the brush. So that's nice, because I prefer to use brushes and stuff over my fingers. I try to limit the mess on my hands as much as I can. I know some people just prefer using their hands, but I ain't that girl. That ain't me. Ooh, yeah, that looks so pretty. So pretty. I was like, I might even add some glitter for fun. It doesn't really need it, but what look really needs glitter. I think we always just add it for fun. So yeah, I feel like there was something else I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember. Hence why I usually script. Because I'm like so bad at always like remembering like what I want to talk about and whatnot. But yeah, so if you guys haven't noticed, I am keeping up with the pace of putting out 3 videos a week. I know that the days have kind of been shifting a lot, and I'm just kind of trying to figure out what works best for my channel. And so far, I think weekdays, performance-wise, do so much better. So there probably won't be any more videos on the weekend. I'm moving around with days right now. I'm gonna start with a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday upload schedule, and we'll see how that goes, and then kind of like maneuver from there. But I think that's what I want to start out doing for a while anyways. Dang, that looks so pretty. I'm gonna take a little bit, I am gonna take a smaller brush, like a little pencil brush, and I'm just gonna dip into this shade here, and I want to put a little bit of that. I want to pop it on the inner corner, and I'm gonna wet it to help that stick. But yeah, I think that's pretty. Gives me just a little bit of light. Oh. Yeah, because these can be a little bit crumbly with the brush, but when I swatched them the other day on my fingers, they were just like sickeningly wet. So now I'm just going to go ahead and prime my face. I'm going to use the Glow Recipe Watermelon Niacinamide Dewdrops. I really like these. They're newer to my collection. I recently picked them up with a Rouge reward, but I have tried a sample before and I really enjoyed it. So that's why I picked it up. Because they just add a nice little bit of juice, and they got some skincare in them. So I really love that about them. The foundation that I'm going to be using today, I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit more on the lighter coverage side. So I am going to go in with a pore filling primer. This is the one from Tarte. It's their Timeless Smoothing Primer. It's my favorite for pore filling. I think it does a really good job. Like, you can just see the difference. And as you saw, I typically just take that on like right here. Like that's where I have the most pores, or like porous areas. So that's really where I use it. Now I'm gonna go with my concealer. I'm still testing out the Pure Release Perfect Glow BB Concealer. That is a mouthful. And I am really liking it. I'll have a full review up soon. I find the way that, man, I might have put a lot over there on accident. The way that I like it best is if I blend it out with a sponge. That is how I get more of my desired coverage. It is a very full coverage concealer though, and you can easily get that when you go in with a brush, which is what I usually use. But I don't want anything too full coverage today because I'm gonna be wearing that balm powder, and I'm really just not sure how much coverage that's gonna give me. So I don't want my concealer to be like looking crazy because I have like super full coverage on my under eyes and then there's like nothing anywhere else. So you gotta kind of be like mindful of that too when you're like working with products like that. So that is just what I like to do. Now that I have the concealer on, I'm gonna go in with the long awaited balm powder. I picked up, and this is from Danessa Myricks if you're unfamiliar. It comes with this cute little spatula. It's like, I don't know. It's like magnetic, and then you can pick it out. Like, I don't know how necessary it is to use that to scoop, or if you can just put your brush in it, or if that's like gross. Like, I don't know. I got the shade 2, and I did swatch this when I got it on my IG stories. It looks a smidgen light right now, but that's just because I have the tiniest amount of tan, you guys, and that my tan, it ain't gonna last. So I feel like if it's a smidge light for me now, that it's gonna work for me later. So we'll see what it looks like and go from there. I'm going to be using my Rose and Bend brush. This is a C41. This is actually the brush that Danessa Myricks used when she demoed this before release. So I'm assuming it works really well with it. I'm going to go in and start using it how I would prefer to. Then if I'm not picking up as much product as I would like or whatnot, then I'll go in with the scoop situation. But I am gonna just try to go in with it with my brush and see what happens. I am detecting a smidge of a scent. I can't put my finger on what it smells like. Like, almost like man. Like, you know? Okay. It's definitely looking a bit drying on my skin. Let me see if I can. I don't know if you guys can see that. But there we go. It's looking very like you can definitely see it. Oh, okay. Does have a nice dry down. Let me scoop it out. And see if that helps the situation. Because maybe it just wasn't picking up enough product or something. Oh my God. My face looks so terrible, you guys. Like, so terrible. I just dipped into it with the sponge to see. I'm trying all the methods right now because the first method and the second method are not, oh my gosh. And I'm fucking aware that the shade doesn't match me, okay? I'm aware of that. No one needs to tell me that. But we're looking at formula right now. I'm gonna turn down the lighting to see, because I might have to take you guys off the stand to see if you can see how freaking terrible this looks on my skin. Like, I don't know. Can you guys see it? Maybe I'll go in natural light. Okay, so I tried really hard to capture it. I don't know if I did or not, but my skin just looks so textured, and like, I don't even know how you would do it with your hands because I feel like it'd just be so messy, but it's like grabbing everywhere. And I literally exfoliated my skin last night, so I know that it's not like my skin just needs to be taken care of. Gosh darn it. God. I was really hoping like that was gonna be the next best thing since sliced bread. And I don't think you can return stuff that you bought with a Rouge reward, so that's great. Man, I just like was not really expecting that. Especially because my friend Steph, she loves this stuff and she has like dry skin. Mine is more combination. So I feel like if anyone should have had it like grabbing, like, you know, she would have experienced that, but I don't know, everyone's skin and everything is different, and so it is what it is. But dang, that freaking sucks, you guys. Sucks. So that's gonna be a no for me. I mean, I could keep trying it, but I want to see if Sephora will let me exchange it, and if they won't, then it'll be listed on Mercari. So yeah, that's the thing with that. It's not gonna work for me. Okay, I'm back. I wiped everything off. I redid my primer, my concealer, and then for my base, I went in with my Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. I really love this, especially during the summer months. It's more of, I wouldn't say a matte finish, but it has a nice dry down and it's not super dewy. So in my experience, it does really well in the summer and in the heat. Also a super affordable product. The shade range is just a little whack though. This is the shade Light Medium, and it is actually darker than the shade Light. So the shades can be finicky, but a really great product nonetheless. Okay. I have to like hype myself up now to try the bronzer because fuck. I just had to open my mouth and be like, I love filming these. These are always so fun, blah, 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 as I redo my whole base because it looked like crap. So we're going to try the bronzer now. I picked up the shade Light Medium. I was able to go and swatch these, and I felt like this would be the best shade for me. They look, it looks really beautiful. It swatches really beautiful. Pray that it's really beautiful on my face, okay? I typically do my blush before my bronzer, but I want to do this first so we can just see it alone and before anything else can potentially harm it. Anybody else see that? Wow. I think that looks really nice. The tone looks gorgeous. As you can see, I'm not having to like over blend. I'm literally just tapping it and it's doing it for me. Okay. First impressions, a little shook. Like, yay, I'm excited. I'm really excited to keep trying this, you guys. We'll see like wear time and stuff like that, but wow, it looks beautiful. I'm not gonna set it with a powder because I want to see how she does on her own today, but exciting stuff. Now I'm gonna go into blush, and I'm using the Patrick Ta in She's So LA. Yeah, if you watched my panning, my latest panning one, you can already see we're making moves on this baby. And I think that this shade is just going to go really well with the purple eye, using something a little bit more on the warm neutral side. I like it when my blush like ties in naturally with my eye. I always feel like it's like the biggest decision of like the whole look. It's like, what blush am I going to use to bring everything together? Guess I could have done a purple blush. That would have been fun. But yeah, so I'm working on using this up. I was also thinking about, and I know I brought this up before, but I was thinking about completely switching up my setup to where like behind me it would be like my closet and then like a few random items that I keep on a dresser. And like, I feel like it would look more clean, but I also don't know if people care enough for me to go through all of that work to move all my stuff. So let me know. Do you really even care about the background of the YouTube video? Or nah? Need to know. Because I don't want to change it if nobody gives a rat's butt. Then I'm going to go in with a highlighter, and I'm still using my one from Kosas. I really love this duo, and a little sneaky peeky for you. We are moving right along in this thing, man. We are moving right along. But this side here is so beautiful. I love it as a highlighter. It applies well with a brush and with your finger. I'm really obsessed, to be honest. Obsessed. And then what else do we have to do since I'm not setting it? I think just my lower lash line. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna hop off, and I'm gonna finish up the finishing touches, finesse some things, and then I'll be back to talk about some first impressions. Okay, so I'm back, and this is the finished look. I really am loving how it turned out. On my lower lash line, I just used a little bit of this blue. This is the LA Girl Shockwave Neon Liners. I decluttered most of these, but decided to keep the blue one because it's the one that I could feel, like, see myself most reaching for, just because I do have blue eyes and it really just like lightens them up. And I think that it accents this whole eye look really, really nicely. On my lips, I went in with a little bit of my Kylie Cosmetics liner, and then I used my Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip in the shade Rose. I freaking love these, you guys. They are literally so good, so juicy. I think that they look wonderful. Now, for my thoughts on the new things we tried out today. I hate this. I'm not even gonna give it another chance. I had a similar situation with the LYS foundation, to where it was just grabbing everything. It looked super dry. It was pilling up like everything. And when I decided, like, life is too short, I have enough makeup that I don't need to bust my butt to try and make something work for me. So I'm not going to. I did try this 3 different ways on my face, as you saw, because I was trying to save it. I was like, okay, no big deal. Doesn't work with a brush. We'll scoop it out like she does. Okay, no big deal. We'll use a sponge. And it just didn't look good anywhere. And I hope that the footage portrays that so that you guys can see what I was seeing. But if it doesn't, trust and believe, it did not look good. And I wanted it to. Like, this was about to be my new holy grail for the summertime. So I'm really bummed about this. But yeah, it's gonna be a pass for me. I know a lot of people like it, but it didn't work for me. It's gonna be a no. The next item, the Makeup by Mario. This is the Transforming Enhancer. So this is the one with the more gel wet texture. It's not the powder. And I think that it is still looking nice. Obviously, it hasn't been that long. But I think the shade is really good for me too. That's why I really wanted to swatch it in stores, because I was thinking about getting the shade Light. But now I think that the shade Light would have been too light for me. So I'm glad I picked up Light Medium. I will do a whole review, probably a whole video review on this product, because I know a lot of people are really curious, but my first impressions are good. So that's good. That makes me feel, at least, you know, some of the items are working out for me. In terms of the KVD beauty palette, I'm still gonna keep trying this, because so like when I swatched these, the swatches were what saved the palette for me in the declutter video. So I'm gonna keep playing with it a little bit. And like I'm gonna swatch purple here. The purple, what I used on my eyeball. And the swatches are so good. They are so beautiful. I'm not really sure if it is vavoom enough for me to keep in my collection, just because like my preference is a bolder shimmer, and I don't think that is what this is, unfortunately. I will say though that the mattes are really unique and they are good. The formula is so interesting to me. I'm not really sure what I want to do with this. I almost kind of wonder how deep the pans even are. And the cool thing about this palette is it's like completely recyclable. So you can pop this whole thing out right here to recycle it, which I think is really neat, and I can, you know, I can appreciate that about it. Oh, it's like glued in though, so okay, I was gonna do it right now, but okay, I'm not gonna do it right now. But so yeah, this is one of the handful of palettes that I have set to the side to where I want to try and get my thoughts on, because if I'm not loving them, then I do want to declutter them as well. So this is one of those, and this is the first look I've done with it. I do think it's really pretty, and I'm gonna keep playing with it. So if you want to see more looks with this, be sure to follow me on IG. But yeah, I think that is all. This was a little bit of a train wreck, but would it even be one of my videos if it wasn't a little bit of a train wreck? Also, my boyfriend brought me a milkshake. I love ice cream, so I'm so grateful. I'm ready to dig into this little baddie. But yeah, if you guys made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video before you leave. I hope that you will have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.